Hi, I know it's been a while since I've made any videos, and now I'm making a few of them. Um, I got my computer working a little bit better with the internet. Um, I didn't get all the problems situated, but uh, I definitely have a lot stronger service in here now. Um, so to catch up, I haven't made any videos because I really haven't been feeling it lately. To be honest. The last video I made was a bit of a celebration about my husband having some hope because his infection rate has gotten a little bit better, and the medication that he's on seems to be helping. And there is a chance that he may not have to have that defibrillator vest on him anymore. He's still wearing it now. And there's a chance that he may not have to have the implant. But that's a long ways down the road. There's got to be a good level of stability before that can be absolutely determined. Still, it's a lot better news than what we've had. My husband fell day before yesterday, and he got hurt, sprained his ankle, and hurt his shoulder. He's in an ankle brace now. Um, and he's in a lot of pain, and he's always in a lot of pain, so this just added to it. Uh, he's still having issues where he has to take his nitroglycerin, and that's scary. Um, but prior to today being a not great day and the last couple of days kind of going downhill again, he had a good 3 days where he was really up and about and feeling good, and that was really nice and really fun. So my focus and attention went to him, and I've been working a lot lately. It's been super busy. Usually after the holidays, right about now, things settle down, but I guess as the guys that I take care of are getting older, their needs are getting more intense and there's more medical involved. And so I'm just constantly running, and there's constant doctor's appointments, and there's constant nutritional changes and different needs that have to be met. Um, and laundry and cleanup and household and and so I've been really tired. I've been really, really, really tired. And then I wake up in the middle of the night, and that's when I'm getting up and cleaning because all of a sudden I can't sleep. So instead of just lay there, I get up and I start doing stuff. And then I'm exhausted by the time I should be getting up. Um, I went to the doctor for my quarterly checkup. I was there this past Friday, and it wasn't a bad visit. It wasn't as good as the prior visit, but it wasn't a bad visit. My blood work came back. My cholesterol had jumped up a little bit. The good cholesterol got great, which is good, but the bad cholesterol jumped up a bit, um, which she the doctor wasn't concerned, but I wasn't too happy about it. um, and I attribute that to, you know, the holidays. There were there were a few there were a few indiscretions, more than a few indiscretions with my eating, so I'm not surprised. I just thought for some reason I thought that I would have everything back down by the time I got to her and by the time I got my blood work. And I guess I underestimated the longevity of poor eating. which you would think I would learn by now, but guess not. Um, I my hemoglobin was up, which also wasn't a surprise, and I ended up going home with antibiotics. Um, Called into the pharmacy. Um, I've had autoimmune flare ups. I've been having a lot lately, um, which I wasn't having for quite a while. And now my glands have been swollen. My throat's been swelling and then going back down. Um, there's been just different flare ups going on that my body's just been kind of attacking me. And nothing I haven't experienced before. It's just been a while since I had to go through it. And so I haven't taken those antibiotics yet because I'm so used to these flare ups. I can pretty much gauge when antibiotics are needed and when they're not. So she gave them to me to use at my discretion. Um, but if they're not, if everything isn't back to normal, I guess by this Friday, then she wants me to do a round of antibiotics. Um, and everything is not 100%. My glands are still swollen in the back of my head and neck and on the side. But it's not really getting in the way of me doing anything. It's not nearly as painful as what I've had in the past. Excuse me. So I'm not I'm not overly concerned about it at all. It's just kind of par for the course with me. Um, she did ask me, which I thought was odd, but at the same time, I wanted to know why she asked, but I didn't want to hear the answer, so I didn't ask. Um, she was looking at my chart and then looked at me and in a very somber face asked me, "Am I eating?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And I am. I just, it kind of surprised me that she asked that, and I didn't know exactly where that was coming from. But I also, for whatever reason, my gut said, don't ask if you don't want to know the answer. And she didn't say anything more about it. She accepted my answer that I was eating, and I didn't ask her why she asked that. I don't want to know. I can imagine, and I've already had that brought up to me this last month, that I'm not eating enough, I'm not taking enough calories in, maybe I'm afraid to eat, I should seek a dietitian. Um, and all of this came from a good place. The people that brought this up to me were not doing it in a judgmental way where they were critiquing me. Um, I think I really felt like it was genuine concern. Nevertheless, it was a little bit overwhelming to me and a little upsetting to me. And um, the reason that it was upsetting was because it made me second guess everything I've been doing. And I do things differently than pretty much everybody else in this community, or at least pretty much different from anybody else that's verbally described what they're doing. And that is, I don't really count calories, and I was counting calories occasionally in the beginning just to see where I was at, but I wasn't counting the calories like I had this much to hit, and then I would count everything that I was eating as I was eating it and subtract to see how much I had left. That's not the way I was counting calories. I was just kind of eating what I wanted, and then at the end of the day, like literally at night before bedtime, I was going back and figuring out how much I ate for the day. And whether I made my caloric intake or not, it didn't matter because I didn't eat any more to try and meet that. I also didn't go out of my way to count protein. Um, and you know, this this community is very high on everything has to be high protein, and you've got to eat enough, and you've got to eat when you're not hungry. You just you can't skip meals. I know some people are fasting intentionally. Some people are doing OMAD. Um, like I said, in the beginning months, I was loosely tracking, but I stopped. I stopped forcing myself to take in X amount of protein. I stopped forcing myself to worry about calories, and I jump on the scale randomly, literally randomly. Sometimes I'll do it, 2, 3 days in a row, and then I won't do it again for 3, 4 weeks. Um, I have history of eating disorders, and most recently it's been binge eating disorder, and that's what got me to be morbidly obese. But when I started out in my late teens, early 20s, I was hospitalized for anorexia nervosa and bulimia. And um, I was in therapy with a psychologist who specialized in women's issues and specialized in women with eating disorders. And there were skills that she um, taught me, and a different method of tracking, um, so that I could do it in a safe way. And so not to trigger my eating issues. And I have that in my brain, the way that I learned that. And it's a very different model from counting calories. It's a very different model from counting macros, um, and just it's just completely off from what this community generally does. And I'm not bad mouthing this community. I different strokes for different folks. Everything works differently. And I realize that there are real concerns about protein and retaining muscle. Um, and I understand, especially as a woman in my 50s, um, that this is especially important. And I know that muscle loss comes with weight loss, any weight loss, whether you're on a GLP-1 or not. And it's particularly a problem when you lose weight fairly quickly. Um, when I started Zepbound, I didn't know about the protein. I had always been told by doctors that, we eat too much protein. Um, so I never thought protein was an issue. And since constantly hearing about it, I did do a little research and on this medication, and I understand now um, that it is a real concern and a real issue, and that it needs to be taken seriously. It needs to be considered for health. Um, I have talked to a coach informally, um, who gave me some tips. And while I did not want to look at dietitians, even though it was suggested to me that I do that, and I didn't want to go outside looking for additional support and help, I ended up doing it because the seed was planted, and not a bad seed to have planted. but I've not signed on with anybody at this point. What it has done is it's caused me to do more research, dig a little deeper, and find out some more information and how it relates to my own personal physical needs. Um, and I realized that actually 100 grams of protein a day for me at a minimum is really what it should be. Um, I am trying to make that. It's not easy. Um, but I'm learning as I go. And the thing is, I'm not getting lightheaded. I'm not getting dizzy. I'm not fainting. My blood sugar is not dropping. Um, I've been hypoglycemic, so I know when it drops. Um, Overall, I'm feeling well fed. I do get hungry, and I do eat when I'm hungry. I don't let myself just go without eating unless I happen to be caught somewhere, where there's just no access to food at the moment. That's another story, and that does happen occasionally, but there's no intention to not eat. If I'm hungry, I eat. Um, I've been doing really quite well, I think, with my eating. There has been a lot less deviation with resorting to junk or emotional eating. Um, and I'm feeling good. So I am aware that there is room for improvement. I am looking into dietitian services. I'm just not ready to take that step financially right now. My insurance does not cover that. But I did find a dietitian that I can work with, and I'm thinking maybe in the spring we'll uh, use her services for about 3 months and pay out of pocket for that just to kind of get grounding. And other than that, overall, I feel pretty good. I'm just tired. I'm taking a lot of supplements now because I'm realizing I'm needing them. Um, you know, I haven't made the videos because I just I wasn't sure what to say, and I said I wasn't going to announce my weight until I've reached my 100-pound goal, and I'm just a few pounds away from that, literally. Um, that being my first goal, just to clarify, I still have well over 100 pounds to lose. I still have about 125 pounds more that I have to lose once I reach the first 100-pound mark. So when I say that goal, that's goal number 2. My first goal was to lose 50, which I met. Then my second goal was to lose 100, reach 100, which I've almost met. And I still have 125 pounds more to go. So I've got a long journey still ahead of me, and I'm still learning, and there's still a lot of room for improvement, but there's also been a lot of improvement made, and I'm pretty happy about that. I have noticed a few things, like my hair is shedding again, which was an indicator to me that, okay, there's a problem with nutrients. I'm not getting enough clearly. Um, my gallbladder, I did have an attack, two of them. Um, they were mild, but they were there and definitely an alert. So I need to be careful with that. Um, and I'm going to the cardiovascular specialist to get checked. I haven't been checked in a few years, and I do have unstable angina, have been on heart medication. So I'm going to get that checked. Not happy about it. Oh, and I got my panel. I got my hormone panel finally. Not the results, but I got the blood drawn for it. Um, and she's not doing just the 4 standard. She's doing a complete panel, hormone panel, to see where I'm at once and for all. If I'm in menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, how imbalanced am I, that kind of thing. Um, so I'm interested to find out about that. And oh, there's been this push lately for to do better, to get monetized. And I said in the beginning, I'm not doing this to get monetized. I'm doing this to track for myself so I can see how far I've come and what the bumps were, and watch it as an audience, not as someone living it. So maybe I can see things that I don't realize while they're happening. And then I got kind of excited when I got these subscribers, and people were kind of pushing for me and supporting me and pumping up my channel to get more subscribers. But I realized that people aren't actually watching my videos. There's maybe 4 of you that watch my videos, that actually watch them. And I'm grateful for that, by the way. But I decided that I need to be honest with myself and stay back at basics. And that is, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I didn't relate to a lot of people that I was watching on their weight loss journeys. And I'm talking prior to GLP-1s. Everything I was seeing were the wins, but I wasn't seeing any of the falls. And I struggle. I've always struggled. I still struggle. I imagine I'm always going to struggle on some level with my weight. I'm 54, and I can't remember literally a day in my life where weight was not an issue. And it's a burden emotionally. I get tired of thinking about it. It's beyond just food noise. The food noise has stopped from using the GLP-1s. About 98% is gone most of the time. But the issue of weight, the issue of food, the issue of eating, the emotional, what do I do when I can't cope? Now that I'm not eating for emotion, how do I sit with those feelings, or how do I express them in another way? How do I soothe them in another way? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I don't want to count calories. I don't want to count protein. I don't want to think about what my next meal is. I don't want to think, oh, you can't have that. You should make a better, healthier choice and have this. I'm tired of the diet mentality. I'm tired of trying to fight the diet mentality. It's just tiring. I've done this my whole life, and I wish weight was not even an issue for me. I wish I literally didn't have to think about it, that I was just naturally thin, and, that it wasn't an issue, period. But it is. And I'm going to have to deal with it for the rest of my life. And this is a lifestyle change. What I can say is this is the most support, having these GLP-1 communities and all these content creators, particularly the live streams, and being able to connect with so many people. It's such a blessing. It's such a different journey, such a different experience than any other weight loss experience I've ever had. It keeps me in alignment. It keeps me feeling so much less alone. There's still ways that I do feel alone because I know I do things differently than a lot of people are expressing that they do it, and a lot of people don't agree with how I'm doing what I'm doing for me. And I'm not recommending that anybody follow my program. I do what I have to do to get through the day for me and my body. And I definitely am not an expert, and I definitely don't have things down pat, but I am definitely improving. Um, and you know, that's what it is. I haven't made the videos, and I don't want to feel like I have to make one when I don't want to make one. I don't want to do it for money. I don't want to do it with pressure. It's my vlog. It's my diary of my personal experiences that I'm going through. And if you get something valuable out of watching my experiences, maybe what not to do, maybe what to do, or just feeling less alone because you have similar situations going on, um, that's really all I hope to accomplish. Is just I don't want to feel alone, and I don't want anybody else to feel alone. Especially when there's so many wins out there, and some people are not always having wins, and I'm one of them. Um, I'm grateful for the weight loss that I've achieved so far. I feel so much better. I think I look so much better. Um, but like I said, I have a long way to go. I'm not exercising consistently, and my exercise just really is walking. Um, there's just a lot of room still for improvement, but I'm at a place in my journey where I've lost 97 pounds. I'm down now, and I'm really happy about that. I'm really proud of that because I have tried to to keep going at it, and uh, this medication has been a blessing to me for way more than just weight loss. It's taken away a lot of the pain in my body. It's given me mobility that I had lost in my hands, and I have a lot of gratitude, and I'm feeling so much better, but I'm not out of the woods, and I still have a long way to go. So I'm not going to be consistently making videos. Now watch. Now I'm going to get in the mood, and you're going to see like 10 videos in the next 5 days. But that's how I am. When I have something to say, when I feel like making a video, that's when I do it. It's not going to be for the algorithm. It's not going to be every Monday or every 3 days, or I just can't. I'm not that. I I'm a procrastinator, and I'm lazy. That's the truth. I am a procrastinator, and I'm lazy, and I work full time, and I'm tired, and I'm stressed, and I have a husband that has a little bit of hope for maybe a longer life, which I'm elated, but we're not out of the woods with that either yet. And like I said, he just fell a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. He's now in a brace. He's in a lot of pain. Um, we're not out of the woods, and I have a stressful life, and I don't know when I'm going to make my next video. It might be this week, it might be tomorrow, it might be 3 o'clock in the morning, it may not be for another 2 weeks or another month. I'm no longer on this track to get as many subscribers or monetize. Could I use the money? I certainly could. But I'm not going to hustle for it. This started out to be basically a diary of my journey for me, and so that people don't have to feel alone if they're not having such an easy, smooth, fluid time. And that's what I'm going to stick to. So for those of you who made it, it's 29 minutes and 49 seconds. So for those of you who've made it this far, I thank you for your time. I know it's valuable. For those of you I've become friends with, I would say. I know it's just within the community and we don't have each other's text and all that. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. Um, if anybody does want to get in touch and you want to have where you can do instant messaging and it's private as opposed to YouTube, which is public, please let me know. I'll give you, a link to whatever account you want so we can really become friends and talk and chat outside of here. Um, I'm always open to that. I'm always open to support, um, giving and receiving. Um, but regardless of whether you do or not, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. I thank you for being part of my journey. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. It is now Thursday morning, and I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, Friday, and weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye.